This video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 things keeping you stuck in the bottom 3 chakras. Right now, there's a transformation happening on the planet. We're moving into a new state of consciousness, and these 3 things are what keeps you from doing that. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 things that will keep you locked in the lower vibrational states of consciousness, understanding that our chakras and the alignment that we have with our chakras has to do with the energy flow going through our body and the things the way that we identify with ourselves in life. So when we look at ourselves in a new way, when we identify ourselves in a new way, then we start to experience a new level of reality. Really what we do though is we just allow the flow to happen a little bit easier. So when it comes to this, there's energy flow around your body. There's a toroidal field around your body, and this toroidal field goes kind of like a donut, and it goes in through your head, it goes through, and there's also one that goes around your heart as well, and it keeps recycling around your body. Now what happens is our energetic field that goes around our body has within it different patterns. Patterns based on ways of thinking, patterns based on something that happened in the past that caused some disruption within this energetic flow. And these energetic disruptions cause there to be blocks inside of our energy field. And when there are these blocks, what happens is we create resistance within our body. That's a lot of times when people can create what is called disease, which is dis-ease. There's this not ease through the energy field. And what happens is they get stuck in the bottom 3 chakras. Now, the bottom 3 chakras are intertwined heavily with what we call the 3rd dimensional reality. 3D. You could say the bottom 3 chakras keep people plugged into 3D reality. And right now we're going from a shift on the planet from 3D to 4D reality, which is where we're becoming more aware that life is a form of dream. We're becoming more heart-centered, which is who we naturally are. We become more inside of our heart. We're doing our passion more. We're seeing things in reality more as vibration than anything else. And that's the 4D level of consciousness. But in order to get there, we must transcend the bottom 3 chakras. Now, transcending doesn't mean we're not in them. We still have a balance within them. What I'm saying when I'm talking about this is healing the disruptions within the energetic chakras themselves. So it's not like you're going to move from the bottom 3 chakras and then just be in your heart chakra, because then you'd be unbalanced. It would be ungrounded. You're meant to be here in a 3D physical experience inside of the body. So we still are going to be within the 3 chakras, but we're going to transcend the pain. We're going to transcend the lower vibrations, keeping us anchored into the 3rd dimensional reality. 3D reality, think of it as duality. Good, bad, light, dark, up, down. These are all different opposites. And just in the same way, when we're identified with our head, our ego, we are identified with the left brain, the right brain. That is also duality. The male, the female, the logical, the creative. These are all different polarities that exist. And based on our balance, based on our integration, we are either syncing them together, or we may have an imbalance. Now, what happens is in society, many people forget who they are. They forget when they're born here that they are eternal spiritual beings having temporary human experiences. Then what happens is their attention goes towards the media. Their attention goes towards all of these things that keep people inside of the lower vibrational emotions. Their attention's put on the news, the media, everything that's happening, and it keeps them in a low frequency state. And then they never really ask themselves, who am I? Because they got to go back to their 9-to-5 job. They got to stay busy doing things, and they're always comparing themselves to other people. This is social conditioning. So the reason I say that is because a lot of society seems to be, up until this point, very geared at staying identified with the senses and identified with lower vibrational emotions, such as shame, fear, guilt, anger. And what happens is as we raise our frequency, we start to let go of a lot of these lower vibrational states of emotion. Now let's look at that of the 3 chakras. We're going to look at balancing out and transcending up. We have that of the survival root chakra. The root chakra is at the base of your spine. And the root chakra deals with that of survival. Survival in the sense of food, shelter, water, safety. Do you feel like, maybe you feel like someone's always going to come after you, or you don't feel safe in the neighborhood you live in, or you don't feel like you don't know if you're going to have enough to eat tomorrow. Those are in survival. That's a very strong disbalance or imbalance in that of the root chakra. Many third world countries that you might observe may have a lot of blockages in their root chakra because they don't even have their survival needs met. So the flight or fight response is also in the survival mode in the root chakra. It could be people going to war, or people going to different things. Now, that's the root chakra, which is around shelter, survival, safety. And I'm just generalizing it so that we can see. I'm going to explain how we can transcend them, the three things that are keeping you stuck, and then how to transcend them. Then you have that of the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is right around your belly button. Belly button. The belly button. That's where the sacral chakra is. That has to do with your relationship to yourself, your relationship to family members, your relationship to friends. So you may find that if you have maybe issues with your parents, they don't get you. You have issues with the loved one, romantic, issues with how you see yourself, maybe your relationship to yourself. This all has to do with the sacral chakra. And if we have any imbalances with our relationship to ourselves or relationship to others, we may feel blocks inside of there. So that's right around the belly button. Then we move up to the solar plexus, which is right between the belly button and the heart. The solar plexus has to do with our willpower. It has to do with a certain level of control of the ego. The shirt I'm wearing right now represents the solar plexus. It's a color of action. And when we look at that of the willpower, we can look and see, are we doing what we love? Do we have willpower? Do we have the ability to say we're going to do something and then do it? Do we feel lazy? Do we feel like we're being held back? Do we procrastinate? Do we have to control every situation? Because if so, then that might be an imbalanced solar plexus. That may be within us, and we may have imbalances within there. So understand that when we look at this as well, you can see this in the scale of consciousness that I always share. I'll go ahead and put it right here. The scale of consciousness, you see shame, fear, guilt. Eventually you see anger. Then you see neutrality, willingness. Many of the emotions within here that I just shared, all the way up to like reasoning, have to do with the bottom three chakras. The bottom three chakras, shame, fear, guilt you may have felt for yourself. Guilt you may have felt, or the anger you may have felt towards someone else. That might be a sacral chakra imbalance. Shame, fear, guilt, anger, that may be angry at society because maybe you don't feel like you have enough abundance, or you're not given the resources to be abundant, or you don't know if you're going to have food tomorrow. Then you see that of willingness. Willingness is like the solar plexus. So you see these are the bottom three chakras when it comes to the vibrational states of consciousness. And there are things that keep you stuck in the bottom emotions and the bottom three chakras. And the things that keep you stuck keep you from moving into your heart. So in this life, we are meant to move from that of integrating the bottom three chakras into our heart center, understanding that we're all connected, understanding that when we're doing what we love, when we're passionate about what we're doing, we're then in a high frequency state. And the more we realize that life is a form of dream, the more dreamlike our life becomes. Things are going to get more and more flexible as time goes on. Do you feel like time is sped up so fast? I know I have. It's because as our frequency increases, our perception of time increases as well. So when we look at the three things that are keeping us stuck, these are the three things keeping you stuck in the bottom three emotions. And the first one has to do with any lower vibrational emotions attached to what is called a positionality. Attachment to positions in your mind. Attachment to perspectives. So when we look at this, we may say this is also mainly related to that of the sacral chakra. Attachments to, this person did this to me. I had that perspective for a very long time, and because of it, I had an imbalance in my sacral chakra for many, many years. Because when I was growing up, between 7 and 15 years old, I had an abusive stepmom in my life. And when that was going on, I felt like I wasn't worthy. I felt unsafe, so maybe also that was the survival mode because I was physically being abused. And going through all of this, what it did is I then developed this anger towards that person. And the anger that I had towards them was going inside of my energy field, and it was creating a blockage in the flow that was going through my body. So when we have these positions, when we have these perspectives, they keep us within the lower vibrational emotions. Now, the moment everything changed for me was the moment I forgave her. Forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness is the key to releasing these positionalities. Because if you don't forgive, you keep the pattern going. If you don't complete the past, you repeat the past. So even after my ex-stepmom, my dad divorced her when I was 15 years old. All of a sudden, me and my brother have all this freedom. We're able to do things. But I still felt that resistance. I still felt like I wasn't worthy. So what happened was then I got into a relationship when I was 17 years old with a girl that was very similar to my ex-stepmom, had control issues. And for 4 years, 3 or 4 years, so I was about 20, 21 years old, I was with her, and then I broke up with her. Realized it wasn't what I wanted to experience. And then right after that breakup, I got transferred to a department working at Nordstrom's and women's shoes, transferred from BP shoes to Salon shoes, and I had a manager for years that was the same exact way. Because if you don't complete the past, you repeat the past. So there was an anger inside of my sacral chakra that was then resonating with people in my life that reflected that anger back to me. That reflected that I believed I deserved that back to me. And the moment I forgave my ex-stepmom and I saw how that whole situation growing up served me because it led to a spiritual awakening, that's when within 2 weeks, that manager got fired, the one that was abusive. She couldn't physically abuse, but she was verbally, and the things that she would say and the things that she would get away with. We tried getting her fired for years, but we wouldn't be able to because the upper management was protecting her. But really, once I completed the past in that way, she no longer resonated in my life, and she left like that. In my version of reality, she was gone. So you see, this is how we heal. We heal by forgiveness. Don't forgive because the other people deserve it. Forgive because you deserve it. Because when you have an anger or some type of lower vibrational emotion within your energy field, it's going within your energy field. There's a toroidal field around the body that energy goes around and around your body. And what happens is as you go out into the world, other people are resonating with that energetic blockage that you have. So when you forgive and you let go of the negative vibration within your body and within your energetic field, it then leaves your body, and then what happens is you can then resonate with a higher level of reality. But forgiveness is about understanding that you're not forgiving for the other person, you're forgiving for yourself. Because then you let go of it. And how do you do that? You realize that everyone's doing the best they can with where they are. Maybe they believe that they have to be that way towards you. But when you understand why they are the way they are, it makes it so much easier. So when I look at my ex-stepmom, for example, she was most likely treated the same way by her dad. She thought she had to control everything in order to get by. Inside of her, her as a bully, there's a damaged teenager that's still there to this day. And still acting out these little things towards other people because that's the way she thinks that she has to be. But I've forgiven her because I realize she's doing the best she can with where she is. Doesn't mean I agree with it. Doesn't mean I'm saying everything is okay the way she is towards people. But what it does mean is that I am forgiving her because I'm letting go of that energetic attachment. So this is the key to really getting out of the lower 3 vibrations or having that imbalance. You're going to still be in there. But it's healing the different aspects, the different positionalities, and understanding that they're there so that you can move through them. So that you can forgive. And when you forgive, you then let go of it inside of your energetic field, and then you start to heal yourself in a very powerful way. Now, the second thing keeping you stuck in the lower vibrations is your resistance to what is. Your resistance to what is. If you become okay with everything, everything will become okay. This is the key. One of the easiest ways for you to raise your vibration is for you to accept more of your life. Accept more of what is. Doesn't mean that you're passive about it and you're like, oh, this is just the way it is, I'm never going to do anything about it. It means that you energetically accept it and you take responsibility for it. Responsibility simply means your ability to respond. Your ability to respond. By doing so, you can then change it, but you cannot change that which you're not aware of. So become aware of the different aspects of your life that you may not be accepting. Maybe, I remember when I was working a 9-to-5 job I didn't care about. I'd go in every day with resistance. Why am I here? I don't want to be here. I wasn't accepting where I was. Now, at a certain level, maybe it could be like, well, maybe you go to a better place. And then that non-acceptance actually served you. Maybe, but what I found even more powerful is to accept the moment and then more than fill your present space. Which means you're aware of not if it's really intuitively good for you. But what I learned is how to go to a job I wasn't that passionate about, because then I'd focus on, doing YouTube or doing what I was passionate about. But when I went to work every day, I didn't focus on the resistance of why am I still here? I would instead take it as a spiritual lesson for me to be there. And by doing so, by being present to the moment, I eventually more than filled my present space by making videos on YouTube and then eventually being able to go full time with it. But sometimes the best thing to do is to actually more so accept and let go of the resistance. A lot of the resistance is self-imposed too. It's because we're like, I'm here, but I should be here. It's this rule in our mind. So the key to this is accepting where you are in life. And be grateful for where you are as well. Sometimes people will feel an imbalance in their survivor mode because they're like, well, what about, I don't have as much abundance as I want. They have a rule in their mind that says when they get a certain level of abundance, then they'll be happy. But you may already have the shelter that you seek. You may already have the food that you need. You may already have the relationships in your life that you need. Friends, family. These things that you think you need may already be there. And by focusing on that gratitude, you start to heal. It's only from the focus of things should be different that we feel resistance. So start to focus more on how you can accept the moment to be. Accept the moment to be. By accepting the moment to be and looking around and knowing that everything is the way it should be, you're going to more than fill your present space. You're going to raise your frequency, and then you can exist in a new level. Now, the third thing keeping you stuck in the lower vibrational states of consciousness is simply attachment. It's just attachment in general. Those lower vibrational emotions I was showing you a minute ago, when you look at shame, fear, guilt, anger, it's attachment to it. There's nothing you have to do to get to a higher vibration. There's nothing you have to really do to get to your heart. Just let go of what doesn't serve. Let go of the anger you may have towards other people, which is forgiveness. Let go of the attachment to certain levels of thinking. Because you see, even when we have these lower vibrational thoughts and emotions, we think they may serve us. They may be keeping us safe. Like, for example, if we are afraid to take action and to really step into our power with our willpower, we may feel a payoff from feeling consistent to the level of safety that we have, because it may be kind of scary doing something you haven't done before, getting outside your comfort zone. But the more you focus on that, of being inside and doing what you're passionate about, you're going to raise your frequency, but let go of the fear. Let go of thinking that you need to stay safe within the ego construct. Attachment and control as well, trying to control the moment. Surrender to the moment. This is a balance of intent, going in a certain direction and letting go and allowing the universe to show you what it is, and allow yourself to then seek into this process. But trying to control everything creates this resistance. The third chakra, the solar plexus, when you're trying to control everything, it's causing so much resistance. And the key to letting go is to understand that you can get in alignment with the universe. You're both an individual and you are a part of the collective as well. And the universe is friendly. The universe wants you to succeed. Allow infinite energy to flow through. Allow this energetic field to flow through, and let go of the positionalities. Let go of the attachments you have to maybe lower vibrational states of consciousness. It may also be the actions you're taking or the things that you feel like you repetitively do that keep you in the lower vibrational emotions. For example, you may be eating real low vibrational food. That will keep you in a lower vibrational state. If you're eating deep fried foods, if you're eating a lot of heavy meats, if you're doing that, keeps you in a low vibrational state. You may be around people that are just complaining all day. Well, guess what? That may keep blocks inside of your energetic field, inside the lower 3 chakras. You may be complaining about someone. You may be listening to it. You may be absorbing some of their vibration, absorbing some of their resistance. You may be watching the news. Watching the news may tune you to a frequency that's less than what you want, and it may be causing blocks in your level of survival because you feel like if you go out, there's things bad that can happen because when you're watching the news, you feel the same way. You see, so pay attention to the attachments you have to the activities you do, attachments you have to the people that you're around. These attachments keep you in low frequency states. So these are the 3 things blocking you from raising your frequency and getting into your heart chakra. And those things include the anger you may have towards other people, the positionalities you have. Start to heal it. Understand that as you heal it, you forgive, you let go of it within your energetic structure, and you start to resonate with the new reality. Understand that you can let go of the need to control everything in your life. And that as you begin to do that, you will raise your frequency, you will allow something better to come in, and then as you accept the moment to be, your life will begin to transform in a powerful way. You can let go of that resistance by knowing everything is where it should be, and by you allowing the moment to be, everything will then become okay. So if you also want a meditation that help you to raise into your heart center, there's one that's in the top of the description box below. If you listen to it for 21 days, I think it'll change your life. It'll help you to raise your vibrational set point. Also, I'll be doing more live Q&As on Instagram, so if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, you can do so right here. I post twice a day, plus I answer questions and Q&As. So if you have questions, come, you can hang out. Other than that, hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the little notification gear so you can see daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.